The Galactic Council chamber was wide and bright. Long lights floated in the air like stars trapped inside glass. Tall alien leaders sat in a wide circle, their bodies covered in smooth armor and glowing symbols. They were the rulers of many worlds. They had defeated powerful species. To them, war was simple math. Power always won. In the center of the chamber stood a single human figure, shown only as a blue hologram. He was small compared to them. He did not move. He did not speak. He only stood and waited. The silence did not last long. One of the alien leaders leaned forward and laughed. The sound echoed across the chamber. "This is the species everyone warned us about," he said. "One planet. One weak race." Another leader waved a claw at the screen beside him. Images of human ships appeared. They were old. Their shapes were rough. No smooth energy shields. No glowing weapons. "Look at their fleet," the alien said. "Metal ships. Chemical engines. Explosions instead of clean energy." More laughter followed. The council felt no fear. A military officer stepped forward and spoke with pride. "Our scans show their tactics are outdated. They hide behind rocks. They wait in silence. They attack from shadows." He paused and smiled. "Primitive behavior. Like animals learning to fight." The council nodded in agreement. One leader tapped the floor with his staff. "Advanced minds fight with speed and power. Only weak minds use tricks." The laughter grew louder. Some aliens did not even look at the human anymore. He was already judged. The human commander remained still. His face showed no anger, no fear. His eyes were calm. The aliens noticed this and laughed again. "Why does he not speak?" one asked. "Is he scared?" Another replied, "Or maybe he knows words will not save his world." The council leader raised a hand. "Human," he said, "you stand before the greatest fleet ever built. Surrender now, and we may allow your species to serve." The human did not answer right away. The silence returned, and this time it felt different. A small alert light flashed near the edge of the chamber. A junior alien officer looked at it and frowned. "Sir," he said softly, "one of our long-range scout ships has stopped responding." The council leader did not even turn. "Ignore it," he said. "Space noise." The officer nodded, but his eyes stayed on the screen. Seconds later, another alert appeared. Then another. 3 ships. Gone. The laughter faded, replaced by quiet confusion. The council leader finally turned. "Explain," he said. The officer swallowed. "No signs of attack. No energy burst. No wreckage. They are just gone." A different leader laughed nervously. "Human tricks," he said. "They hide well." The council tried to return to their confidence, but something had changed. The air felt heavier. The lights seemed dimmer. The human commander lifted his head. His voice was calm and slow. "You think we hide because we are weak," he said. Every alien turned toward him. "We hide because it keeps us alive." The council leader frowned. "Your words mean nothing," he replied. "Your ships are toys. Your weapons are old." The human nodded once. "Yes," he said. "They are old. That is why they work." An alien officer stepped forward in anger. "Do not insult us," he shouted. "Your fleet is already surrounded." The human did not raise his voice. "Surrounded targets panic," he said. "Hunters wait." Another alert flashed. 5 more ships lost. The chamber fell into silence. No one laughed now. The council leader stood from his seat. "What have you done?" he demanded. The human looked straight ahead. "Nothing," he answered. "Not yet." That answer caused fear to spread through the room. The aliens checked their screens. Their advanced sensors showed nothing. Empty space. No enemies. No signals. Just darkness. The human continued, his voice steady. "You call our tactics primitive because they are old. But old does not mean useless. Old means tested." He paused. "Your technology is powerful. But it depends on systems. On signals. On speed. He looked around the chamber. We learned long ago how to fight without those things. Outside the council chamber, far beyond their vision, space shifted. Small human ships moved without light, without signals. They did not rush. They waited. They watched. The first stage was already complete. Back inside, the council leader felt something he had not felt in many cycles. Doubt. This changes nothing, he said, though his voice was weaker now. Our main fleet will arrive soon. The human commander finally allowed himself a small smile. Yes, he said. So will ours. The lights in the chamber flickered once. Just once. And in that moment, the aliens understood a terrible truth. They had laughed too early. The council chamber was no longer loud. The laughter was gone. Alien leaders watched their screens in silence, waiting for more bad news. The human hologram still stood in the center, calm and unmoving. He did not look proud. He did not look angry. He looked like someone who had already accepted the future. That calm made the aliens uncomfortable. They were used to fear. They were used to begging. This human showed neither. The council leader narrowed his eyes. "Who are you?" he asked. "What rank do you hold?" The human answered without delay. "I am Commander Elias Ward," he said. "Fleet Operations, Terran Defense." Some of the aliens exchanged looks. The name meant nothing to them. One leader whispered, "Just one man." Another replied, "One man does not matter." They were wrong, but they did not know it yet. Commander Ward continued to stand straight. His hands were behind his back. His uniform was simple. No bright medals. No signs of power. An alien general laughed softly. "Is this your best?" he asked. "You send one quiet man to face an empire?" Ward looked at him. "No," he said. "I was sent to watch." That answer caused more confusion. "Watch what?" the general asked. Ward did not answer right away. Another alert sounded. This time, it was closer. A defense ship near the council world went dark. The alien officers rushed to their stations. "No weapon fire detected," one said. "No energy spikes." The council leader slammed his staff against the floor. "Find them," he shouted. "Use all sensors." The screens filled with data. Advanced scans reached far into space. They found nothing. Commander Ward spoke again. "You are looking for us the wrong way," he said. "You search for noise. We removed it." An officer turned to him in anger. "You cut your engines," he demanded. "That is suicide." Ward shook his head slowly. "Only if you need speed," he replied. "We need patience." The alien leaders tried to understand. Their fleets were built on power and speed. Faster ships. Bigger weapons. Everything depended on constant energy. Constant signals. Commander Ward knew this. Humans had studied them for years. Humans had learned one simple truth. The stronger the system, the more it depends on itself. Break that balance and everything falls apart. The council leader pointed at Ward. "You speak like you have already won," he said. Ward remained calm. "No," he answered. "I speak like someone who knows how long wars really last." That sentence echoed in the chamber. The aliens had always ended wars quickly. Total strikes. Complete control. Humans did not fight like that. Humans fought until one side could no longer stand. Sometimes that took generations. An alien scientist stepped forward. "Sir," she said, "their ships are cold. No heat trails. No active shields." The leader stared at her. "Impossible," he said. "Ships cannot survive like that." Ward nodded. "Most cannot," he said. "Ours can." He paused. "Because we built them expecting failure." The aliens did not understand this idea. To them, failure was unacceptable. To humans, failure was a teacher. Every human ship was designed to work even when broken, even when blind, even when alone. That was not advanced technology. That was experience. Another officer spoke with fear in his voice. "Sir, our communication relays are failing." The council leader froze. Failing how? The officer swallowed. They are not destroyed. They are being jammed by nothing. Ward closed his eyes for a moment. Silent fields, he said. Old idea. Simple tools. The council leader's voice rose. Stop this, he ordered. Call the main fleet. Bring them now. The officers rushed to obey. Signals were sent across space. There was no response. For the first time, the rulers of many worlds felt alone. Commander Ward opened his eyes and looked around the chamber. You believe power is loud, he said. You believe strength must shine. He paused. We learned a different lesson. The aliens watched him, unable to look away. The most dangerous hunter, Ward continued, is the one you forget is there. Outside the council world, far beyond the range of alien sensors, human ships moved slowly into position. They did not rush. They did not fire. They waited for orders that had already been given days ago. Back in the chamber, the council leader spoke quietly. What do you want, human? Ward answered without hesitation. To show you, he said, why we survived our own history. The room fell silent once more. And this time, even the walls seemed to listen. The alien council stared at the screens in disbelief. Data flowed across the air in bright symbols, but none of it made sense. Their sensors showed empty space. No enemy fleets. No weapon fire. Yet their ships were vanishing one by one. To the council, this was impossible. Their technology had never failed them before. They had conquered star systems using speed, light, and overwhelming power. They did not understand how something so simple could slip past something so advanced. Commander Ward remained silent as the aliens argued among themselves. His hologram stood steady, almost boring in its stillness. That calm felt heavy now. One alien general pointed at the image of a human ship rotating slowly on the screen. That thing should not exist, he said. No energy shield. No plasma core. Just metal and fire. Another leader scoffed. A flying coffin, he said. Primitive junk. The words were meant to insult, but they carried fear instead. The council demanded a full display of the human fleet. The screen shifted and showed rough-looking ships drifting in the dark. Their hulls were scarred. Some had mismatched plates. Their designs were uneven, almost ugly. They did not glow. They did not shine. They looked like machines built to survive, not to impress. These are your weapons, the council leader asked. You come against us with relics. Commander Ward nodded once. Yes, he said. Relics that work. The council laughed again, but it was forced this time. Your cannons fire solid rounds, an alien engineer said. Slow. Easy to stop. Ward looked at her. Only if you see them, he replied. The engineer frowned. Our shields stop energy and matter, she said. Ward answered calmly. They stop what they are designed to stop. The aliens had built shields to block powerful beams and fast projectiles. They had never expected slow, dumb objects moving without heat or signal. Human weapons did not glow. They did not announce themselves. They drifted. They waited. Then they struck. One alien ship near the edge of the system suddenly lost power. No explosion. No warning. Its systems went dark as its core was pierced by a simple metal round. An officer shouted, "We are under attack." The council leader roared, "Where?" The officer pointed at the screen. "There," he said, shaking. The leader stared. Nothing appeared. No flash. No energy trace. Just another ship going silent. The room filled with panic. Commander Ward spoke again. "Your defenses are built for speed," he said. "So we slowed down." The council leader snapped back. "You expect us to believe rocks and bullets can defeat us?" Ward tilted his head slightly. "They defeated us many times," he said. "That is how we learned." The aliens could not understand this way of thinking. They believed progress erased the past. Humans believed the past was a weapon. Human engineers had looked at old wars, old mistakes, and old deaths. They did not throw those lessons away. They turned them into tools. Another alien officer stepped forward, his voice trembling. "Our automated weapons cannot lock on," he said. "The targets do not match threat profiles." Ward nodded. "Because you taught your machines to fear only what shines," he said. "We taught ours to fear silence." The council leader's voice dropped. "This is madness," he said. "You are fighting like scavengers." Ward met his gaze. "No," he replied. "We are fighting like survivors." On the edge of the system, human ships released small objects. They were simple. No engines. No guidance systems. Just mass and motion. They drifted into alien supply lanes. When alien ships moved at high speed, they struck these objects and tore themselves apart. Humans did not need to chase them. They let the enemy's speed do the work. The alien council watched as reports filled the chamber. Collisions. Hull breaches. Systems failures. Their advanced fleet was hurting itself. One leader whispered, "How can this be happening?" Another answered, "Because we never planned for this." Commander Ward folded his hands behind his back. "You call our weapons primitive," he said. "But primitive does not mean weak. It means simple." He paused. "Simple things break less." The council leader looked tired now. "You fight without honor," he said. Ward shook his head. "We fight to live," he answered. "Honor comes later." Outside the council world, the human ships continued their slow dance through space. They did not rush victory. They did not celebrate. Every movement was planned. Every shot was patient. This was not a battle of technology. It was a battle of mindset. Inside the chamber, the council realized something too late. They had laughed at tools that did not need approval. Weapons that did not need permission. Weapons that worked even when everything else failed. And the humans had many more. The alien fleet moved as it always had, fast and proud. Orders were sent with bright signals across space. Ships accelerated together, engines burning like small stars. To the aliens, speed was safety. Power was control. They believed that if they moved fast enough, nothing could touch them. They did not know they were already inside the trap. In the council chamber, alarms continued to sound. Officers spoke over each other, voices sharp with fear. "Multiple losses in the outer lanes," one shouted. "Navigation errors increasing," said another. The council leader raised his staff, demanding silence. He turned toward Commander Ward. "This ends now," he said. "We will crush your ships with force." Ward did not react. "Force only works," he replied calmly, "when you know where to strike." The alien fleet surged forward, pushing deeper into the system. Their sensors searched ahead, behind, and to every side. They found nothing. Space looked empty and safe. That false safety was part of the design. Human ships had already pulled back, leaving behind quiet markers, old satellites, and dark metal shapes drifting without movement. These objects were not weapons on their own. They were guides. As the alien ships moved at full speed, their computers adjusted routes automatically. The systems chose the clearest paths, the fastest lines through space. The aliens trusted these systems completely. They had trusted them for centuries. That trust would cost them. The first ship vanished without a sound. One moment it was there. The next it was gone. No explosion. No signal. Just an empty gap in the formation. The ships behind it adjusted course to avoid collision. Their new path took them straight into the trap. Hidden mines activated silently. They were simple devices, built with no energy core and no signal. They waited for physical contact. When an alien cruiser brushed against one, the mine did not explode outward. It drove inward. A solid spike punched through the hull and into the heart of the ship. Systems failed instantly. The cruiser drifted, dead and dark. "Report!" an alien commander shouted. Panic spread through the fleet. Ships tried to slow down, but momentum betrayed them. Speed, once their greatest strength, turned against them. Several vessels collided while trying to change direction. Human mines and drifting metal tore through hulls like paper. In the council chamber, officers stared at the feeds in horror. "This is chaos," one whispered. The council leader's hands trembled as he gripped his staff. "Why did we not detect them?" he demanded. Commander Ward answered softly, "Because you were not looking for traps. You were looking for enemies." The aliens had always faced fleets that announced themselves. Battles had rules. Front lines. Clear targets. Humans did not fight that way. Humans believed the battlefield started long before the first shot. Every route, every choice, every habit of the enemy could be turned into a weapon. A surviving alien captain tried to regain control. "All ships, reduce speed," he ordered. "Switch to manual navigation." The command came too late. Another ship struck a cluster of hidden debris and broke apart. Crew members never had time to scream. Commander Ward watched in silence. This was not cruelty to him. It was preparation. Humans had learned the cost of rushing. They had paid for it with lives many times in their history. Now, they let others repeat the same mistake. The council leader's voice cracked. "You planned this," he said. Ward nodded. "Weeks ago," he replied. "Before you even decided to laugh." That truth cut deeper than any weapon. The aliens realized they had been studied. Their pride, their habits, their confidence had all been mapped. Outside, human ships began to move again. Slowly, carefully. They closed in around the damaged alien fleet, but they did not attack directly. They blocked escape routes. They controlled space without being seen. The trap tightened, not with noise, but with pressure. An alien officer shouted, "Our fleet cannot maneuver. The space itself is against us." Ward looked at him. "Space is neutral," he said. "You just forgot to respect it." In the chamber, silence returned. The council leader lowered himself back into his seat. His shoulders looked heavy. For the first time, he understood the danger he faced. Not powerful weapons, not advanced ships, but an enemy that thought in layers. An enemy that waited. Outside the council world, broken alien ships drifted like warning signs. No explosions marked their end. No heroic last stands. Just quiet failure. The first trap had worked exactly as planned. And it was only the beginning. The council chamber felt smaller now. The bright lights no longer brought comfort. Shadows clung to the walls as officers rushed from one station to another. Reports stacked on top of reports, each worse than the last. The alien fleet was no longer moving as one powerful force. It was broken into confused groups, each unsure of where safety was. Fear had entered a place where confidence once ruled. The council leader stared at the central display. Dozens of fleet symbols blinked in warning colors. Some had gone dark completely. Others flickered, damaged but alive. "Give me numbers," he demanded. An officer hesitated. "We have lost contact with 12% of the fleet," she said. "Another 20% is damaged or trapped." The leader's jaw tightened. Those numbers should have meant victory against any lesser enemy. Against humans, they meant nothing. Commander Ward remained silent, his hologram calm and still. The aliens watched him more than they watched their screens now. One leader whispered, "Why does he not celebrate?" Another replied quietly, "Because this is not the real battle." They were right. Humans did not cheer early. Humans knew that fear was more useful than destruction. An alien general slammed his claw against a console. "We must strike back," he growled. "Find their ships and destroy them." The officers tried again. Sensors swept space in wide arcs. Energy pulses flashed and faded. They found only broken ships and empty darkness. "No targets," an officer said, his voice shaking. "It is like fighting a shadow." Commander Ward finally spoke. "Fear changes how you think," he said. "It makes you rush. It makes you loud." The council leader snapped, "Silence!" But the words had already taken root. Alien commanders began issuing fast, conflicting orders. Some ships tried to flee. Others pushed forward blindly. The fleet lost its shape. Its strength leaked away with every wrong decision. In one section of space, an alien destroyer detected a small object ahead. The captain ordered weapons ready. The object did not move. It did not react. "Fire," the captain commanded. Energy beams hit empty space. The object drifted through the blast untouched. Seconds later, it opened like a shell. Dozens of metal shards spread out slowly. The destroyer flew straight into them. Its hull was shredded. The ship died without a single human shot being fired. Back in the council chamber, a young officer looked pale. "Sir," he said, "they are not chasing us." The council leader turned sharply. "What do you mean?" The officer swallowed. "They are letting us break ourselves." Commander Ward nodded slightly. "Fear is a weapon," he said. "You give it power when you panic." The council leader stared at him. "You think this makes you superior?" he asked. Ward shook his head. "No," he replied. "It makes us careful." The alien leaders had never faced an enemy that refused to take the spotlight. Every victory they had known came with explosions and surrender. Humans offered neither. They took positions. They closed doors. They waited. Every moment of silence pressed harder on alien minds. A report came in from the outer edge of the system. "Supply routes are failing," an officer said. "Fuel ships are missing." Another added, "Communication delays are increasing." The council leader felt cold. Without supplies, their powerful fleet was nothing. Humans understood this better than anyone. Wars were not won by battles alone. They were won by endurance. Outside the council world, human ships watched alien movements closely. They did not fire unless needed. They blocked routes, cut links, and vanished again. To the aliens, it felt like the system itself was rejecting them. The council leader finally spoke in a low voice. "Why do you do this?" he asked the human commander. Ward looked at him. "Because you would do worse if you could," he said. "We learned that lesson early." Fear now ruled the chamber. Leaders argued openly. Blame passed from one to another. Pride collapsed under pressure. The image of human weakness they once laughed at shattered completely. In its place stood a new image. An enemy that did not rush. An enemy that did not need to prove itself. As the council argued, another alert sounded. A deep one. The kind that meant something important had failed. An officer whispered, "Our deep space warning network has gone silent." Commander Ward looked up. "That was never meant to survive," he said. The council leader closed his eyes. For the first time, he understood the shape of the war. This was not an invasion. It was a slow tightening grip. And fear was doing half the work for the humans. The alien council sat in heavy silence. Fear had settled deep into their thoughts, but confusion still ruled their minds. They could not understand how a species with weaker ships and simpler weapons was breaking their fleet apart. Power had always been enough before. Technology had always decided the outcome. Now, those beliefs were cracking. A senior alien scholar stepped forward. His voice was calm, but his eyes showed worry. "We must understand them," he said. "Not their ships. Their thinking." The council leader nodded slowly. "Begin," he ordered. Data streams shifted. New images filled the chamber. Not fleets. Not weapons. History. The scholar spoke as scenes appeared. "Humans evolved on a violent world," he said. "Natural disasters. Predators. Internal conflict." Images showed storms, earthquakes, burning cities. "They did not unite under peace," he continued. "They survived through constant struggle." The council watched in uneasy silence. Commander Ward stood quietly as the story unfolded. This was not propaganda. This was truth. Humans had never been the strongest species on their own planet. They learned early how to outthink enemies larger and faster than themselves. The scholar changed the display. "Human warfare is old," he said. "Extremely old." Scenes of ancient battles appeared. Soldiers hiding behind terrain. Ambushes from forests and hills. "They learned that strength alone fails," the scholar explained. "So they learned patience." One alien leader scoffed weakly. "That was their past," he said. "Why does it matter now?" The scholar turned to him. "Because they never forgot it," he answered. The images shifted again. Trenches. Ruined cities. Long wars with no clear winners. Humans fought wars that lasted years, decades, even generations, the scholar said. They learned how to live inside conflict. That idea disturbed the council. They had always aimed for fast victories. Humans planned for long suffering. Commander Ward finally spoke. "We are not proud of it," he said. "But we remember it." The scholar highlighted another pattern. "Humans value adaptability over perfection," he said. "They expect systems to fail. They plan for it." He gestured toward the data. Alien technology is powerful, but fragile. Human technology is messy, but stubborn. The council leader clenched his hands. "So this is why our systems collapse?" he asked. Ward nodded. "You built for control," he said. "We built for loss." A young alien officer looked at the screens with growing horror. "They trained for this," he whispered. "They expected to be outmatched." The scholar nodded. "Yes," he said. "Every human war assumed the enemy was stronger." The council leader felt anger and shame mix inside him. "We dismissed them as primitive," he said. Ward met his gaze. "Primitive means close to the beginning," he replied. "That is where the strongest lessons are." The display shifted once more. Human military doctrines appeared. Not focused on victory, but survival. Delay. Disruption. Endurance. Humans do not need to win battles, the scholar said. They need the enemy to quit. Outside the council world, alien ships struggled to reorganize. Without clear communication, fear spread faster than orders. Every shadow looked like an ambush. Every silence felt like a threat. Human ships continued to wait, letting that fear grow. The council leader finally understood the mistake they had made. They had judged humans by appearance and technology. They had ignored history. History was the weapon humans carried best. Commander Ward spoke one last time in the chamber. "You forgot something important," he said. "We are not good at war because we enjoy it." He paused. "We are good at it because we had no other choice." The council chamber remained silent. The aliens now saw the humans clearly. Not as weak. Not as primitive. But as a species shaped by endless conflict, carrying lessons written in blood and time. And outside, as the alien fleet trembled in confusion, the humans prepared for the next phase. The first sign came without sound. Deep within the alien command network, a signal appeared where none should exist. It was not loud. It did not force its way through defenses. It simply appeared, steady and calm, like a heartbeat in the dark. Alien technicians noticed it almost by accident. At first, they thought it was background noise. Then they realized it was repeating. In the council chamber, an officer stepped forward. "We are receiving a signal," he said. The council leader looked up sharply. "From where?" The officer hesitated. "Everywhere," he replied. That answer sent a ripple of unease through the room. Advanced sensors traced the signal across space, but it did not point to a single source. It was layered, reflected, and shared. Commander Ward watched silently. He already knew what it was. The council demanded analysis. Alien experts worked quickly, pulling the signal apart. It was simple, almost crude. No encryption worthy of note. No complex structure. "This is not a weapon," one analyst said. "It is too basic." Another added, "It carries no threat code." The council leader frowned. "Then why send it?" Ward finally spoke. "Because you are listening now," he said. The signal continued, unchanged. It did not grow stronger. It did not fade. It was constant. A human design choice. The aliens were used to signals that adapted, shifted, and evolved. This one refused to do any of that. It was stubborn. An alien scientist frowned at her display. "It is using old relay paths," she said. "Paths we abandoned long ago." Ward nodded. "Old roads still reach places new ones forget," he said. As the signal passed through forgotten channels, it reached damaged alien ships, stranded crews, and isolated commanders. Every receiver heard the same thing. A short burst of data. Coordinates. And a simple code. In the council chamber, The meaning became clear. "Those are rally points," the council leader said slowly. Fear tightened his voice. "Not for us." Ward confirmed it. "For our fleet," he said. The council erupted in panic. "Your fleet is already here," one leader shouted. Ward shook his head. "These are not the ships you have been fighting," he replied. "These are the ones that matter." Outside the system, far beyond the reach of alien sensors, human deep space fleets adjusted course. Massive formations moved in silence. They did not rush. They followed the signal like a promise. The alien sensors still saw nothing. They were not built to detect patience. The council leader demanded answers. "Why now?" he asked. Ward met his eyes. "Because you are ready to see them," he said. The signal changed slightly. For the first time it spoke. Not with threats. Not with demands. A simple message repeated across space. "Hold position. Stay dark. We are coming." Alien commanders intercepted the message. Panic spread faster than before. Some demanded retreat. Others called for a final strike. Conflicting orders paralyzed the fleet. Humans had counted on this. An alien general slammed his fist down. "This is psychological warfare," he shouted. Ward nodded. "The oldest kind," he said. The council leader's voice was low. "How many ships?" he asked. Ward answered honestly. "Enough," he said. The signal continued to pulse. Every few moments, it reminded the human ships where to gather. It also reminded the aliens that something vast was moving toward them, unseen and unstoppable. Alien analysts tried to block the signal. They failed. It did not overpower their systems. It went around them. It used forgotten hardware, abandoned protocols, and damaged relays. Every attempt to silence it only spread it further. The council leader finally understood. This was not just a call to arms. It was a declaration. Humans were no longer hiding. They were choosing the moment to be seen. Commander Ward spoke one last time. "You laughed when we stayed quiet," he said. "Now you are afraid because you can hear us." Outside the council world, alien ships drifted in tight formations, unsure whether to move or wait. The signal echoed through their systems like a countdown. Far away, the human fleet moved closer. Space changed before anyone could explain it. Not with light. Not with sound. But with weight. Alien sensors, tuned to energy spikes and fast movement, began to report something strange. Space itself seemed fuller. Denser. As if something massive was pressing against it from the dark. Officers stared at their screens, unsure how to name what they were seeing. In the council chamber, the signal was still pulsing. "Steady. Come." Then it stopped. Silence returned, heavier than before. Commander Ward lifted his head. "They are here," he said. The first human ship appeared without warning. There was no flash of entry. No burst of light. One moment space was empty. The next, a massive shadow hung in the dark. The ship was enormous. Larger than any alien cruiser. Its hull was thick, layered with armor plates scarred by age and repair. It did not glow. It did not move fast. It simply existed. Then another appeared. And another. Human ships emerged one by one, spreading across space like a slow tide. They came from different angles, different depths. Not a charge. A surround. Alien sensors struggled to count them. Every estimate was wrong. The numbers kept rising. The council chamber fell into stunned silence. An alien officer whispered, "Those designs are ancient." Another replied, "But there are so many." The council leader felt his breath shorten. This was not a strike force. This was a migration. Commander Ward spoke calmly. "This is the fleet you thought did not exist," he said. "The one we never show." The human ships formed lines, then layers. Smaller vessels moved between larger ones, like veins carrying blood. Supply ships, carriers, and heavy platforms locked into place. The formation was slow, careful, and impossible to break. It did not rely on speed. It relied on presence. Alien commanders tried to respond. Orders were shouted. Weapons were charged. Energy systems surged. But targeting failed again and again. Human ships gave off no clear signatures. Their armor absorbed scans. Their shapes confused tracking systems. The first alien shot was fired in panic. A bright beam tore through space and struck a human ship. The beam faded. The human ship did not move. Scorch marks appeared on its armor. Nothing more. The ship continued forward as if nothing had happened. Fear spread instantly. Alien officers stared in disbelief. Their most powerful weapons had always decided battles. Now, they barely slowed the enemy. Commander Ward watched without emotion. "That ship has been hit before," he said. "Many times." Human ships began to respond. Not with a barrage. With precision. Small, solid rounds launched from hidden ports. They traveled slow and steady. Alien shields flared, confused by the lack of energy. Some rounds slipped through. Others struck and cracked shield generators. One alien cruiser lost power and drifted helplessly. The human fleet did not rush to destroy it. They let it float, a message to the others. The council leader's voice shook. "Why bring so many?" he asked. Ward answered simply. "So you understand we can replace losses," he said. "You cannot." More human ships arrived. The space around the council world filled with dark hulls and silent engines. The aliens realized they were surrounded not by speed, but by endurance. This was not an invasion meant to end quickly. It was a statement. Alien morale collapsed. Some ships powered down weapons. Others attempted to flee, only to find escape routes blocked. Human ships adjusted slowly, cutting off every path without firing. Commander Ward spoke again. "We did not come to surprise you," he said. "We came to stay." The council leader closed his eyes. He understood now. Humans were not fighting for conquest. They were fighting to remove a threat forever. Outside, the human fleet held position. Thousands of ships, old and new, scarred and repaired, waited together in perfect silence. The arrival was complete, and the galaxy would never forget it. The alien fleet no longer looked like an empire's pride. Surrounded by human ships on every side, it looked small, disorganized, fragile. Once, those same ships had ruled entire systems. Now they drifted in tight formations, weapons charged but useless, commanders unsure whether to fight or surrender. The confidence that once filled their voices was gone. Inside the council chamber, no one spoke for a long time. The massive displays showed the same image again and again. Human ships. Endless layers of them. Old designs. Heavy armor. Silent engines. They did not move unless needed. They did not flash warnings. They simply waited. The council leader finally broke the silence. "Open all channels," he ordered. "Demand terms." An officer hesitated. "Sir," he said, "they are not broadcasting." The leader clenched his jaw. "Then how do we speak to them?" The officer looked at Commander Ward. "Through him." Ward nodded once. He did not smile. Alien commanders across the fleet began to argue. Some demanded a final attack, driven by fear and pride. Others warned that any strike would bring total destruction. Reports confirmed their worst fears. Human supply lines were strong. Their ships rotated positions smoothly. Damaged vessels pulled back and were replaced within minutes. The aliens could not match that endurance. One alien admiral sent an unauthorized attack order. A small group of ships fired at the human lines. The response was immediate and controlled. Human ships did not unleash chaos. They targeted engines, weapons, and command nodes. Within moments, the attacking ships were powerless, drifting silently among the stars. The message was clear. Resistance was allowed. Victory was not. The council leader watched the display and felt something inside him break. "We believed we were superior," he said quietly. Ward looked at him. "You believed power was the same as control," he replied. Alien technology began to fail in unexpected ways. Their systems, designed for high-energy warfare, overheated under constant alert. Shields drained faster than they could recharge. Communication delays grew worse. The longer the standoff lasted, the weaker the alien fleet became. Human ships, built for long operations, showed no such strain. An alien scientist stepped forward. "Their fleet is not optimized for battle," she said. "It is optimized for survival." The council leader nodded slowly. "And we optimized for domination," he replied. Commander Ward spoke to the chamber. "This is why we win wars," he said. "Not because we are stronger. Because we last longer." Across the fleet, alien crews felt despair sink in. There were no heroic charges. No glorious explosions. Just waiting. Waiting while supplies ran low. Waiting while fear grew. Waiting while human ships remained calm and ready. Some alien captains shut down weapons to save power. Others powered down entire ships, hoping it would make them less of a target. Humans noted every move and adjusted quietly. No action went unnoticed. The council leader straightened his posture. Pride still lived in him, but it was wounded. "What do you want?" he asked Ward. Ward answered with honesty. "We want you to stop," he said. "Stop expanding. Stop taking worlds. Stop laughing at species you do not understand." The council leader looked around at the faces of his fellow rulers. They were tired, afraid, defeated. He realized the truth. The war had already ended. Not with a final battle, but with the collapse of belief. Alien arrogance had been their greatest weapon. It was also their greatest weakness. They had believed themselves untouchable. Humans had touched them without ever needing to strike hard. Ward's final words echoed in the chamber. "We do not need to destroy you," he said. "We only need to show you that we can." Outside, the human fleet held its positions. Silent, patient, unmoving. The alien empire, once proud and unstoppable, now waited for a decision it had never imagined making. The council chamber was quiet, almost empty. The great alien rulers had retreated behind closed doors, leaving only a handful of officers to manage what was left of their shattered fleet. The war they had believed would be swift and decisive had become a lesson in patience and humility. Commander Elias Ward's calm presence lingered in the hologram, a constant reminder of a force neither fully understood nor respected before. Outside, the human fleet maintained its position, neither advancing nor retreating. The sheer number of ships, old and scarred but unyielding, filled the space like an immovable wall. The aliens understood now that this was not an invasion meant to destroy everything overnight. It was a slow reclaiming of balance, a shift in power that would shape the galaxy's future. The council leader stared at the darkened screens showing the human fleet. His voice was low but firm. "What happens now?" he asked no one in particular. Ward's hologram flickered slightly as he answered. "Now we build," he said. "Not with weapons, but with trust. Not with fear, but with respect." The council leader frowned. "Trust," he repeated. "Respect. From our enemies." Ward nodded slowly. "Yes. Because lasting peace comes from understanding, not domination." The aliens were forced to rethink everything. Their way of ruling, their belief in power through force, was no longer enough. They had seen the cost of arrogance. They had seen the strength of survival, the power of patience. In the following weeks, tentative communications began. Humans did not demand surrender. They did not insist on terms. Instead, they sent envoys with messages of negotiation and cooperation. The alien rulers, humbled and cautious, accepted the first steps toward dialogue. One human envoy spoke during the first formal meeting. "We come from a history of struggle," she said. "We know the cost of endless war. We offer a chance to build something better, together." The council leader listened carefully. The room was filled with mixed emotions: fear, hope, distrust, and relief. But above all, there was something new: possibility. Plans were made to rebuild damaged worlds, restore trade routes, and share knowledge. Human engineers worked with alien scientists, blending old technology with new ideas. Battleships once meant for war were converted into exploration vessels. The slow healing process was not easy. Old wounds ran deep. Some factions resisted change. But the human example showed a different path. One where strength was measured not by destruction, but by the ability to endure and adapt. Commander Ward watched the progress with quiet satisfaction. "This is the future," he said to his officers. "Not endless conquest, but cooperation. Not fear, but understanding." The galaxy would remember the war as a turning point. The moment when laughter turned to silence, and silence became a bridge. The moment when primitive tactics, patience, and endurance changed the course of history. For the humans, it was a reminder of their own journey. From fragile beginnings to a fleet that could withstand empires. From a species mocked for simplicity to a force that rewrote the rules. And for the aliens, it was a lesson in humility. A reminder that power without respect is fragile. That technology alone cannot win wars. That survival is not just about strength, but about learning and growing. As the stars shone quietly above, two fleets stood side by side, not as enemies, but as neighbors. The past was a shadow, but the future was light. Together, they stepped forward into a new beginning.